Okay, this is Mongoose Jake here. I'm going to do a quick video that was requested by Backsax1 a couple months ago on my Tektro hydraulic brake review. He requested for me to do a front derailleur adjustment video. At the time I was waiting for this SRAM X7 front derailleur to show up, and so I delayed it for a few weeks until I got the front derailleur, and then afterwards I had gotten a weird cold where I had a major congestion in my vocal cords, and I actually had lost my voice for about a week and a half. But those are just excuses, and finally found the time to go ahead and get this video done. Wanted to show you my technique. Now there's other videos out there on YouTube and elsewhere on the internet, and other people have good advice on this as well, but I just wanted to show you my take on the front derailleur and how to quickly get it adjusted at least close on your stand. Now this is again one thing that I do believe is more of a trial and error out on the trail while riding, because you do have to remember and take into account on the stand the bike is not under the pressure of your weight or riding conditions, and what seems to work just right here on the stand may not be perfect out on the trail. So this will get you close, but remember to always play with it out there on the trail to get it just right. Now a few things you're going to need, or at least that I always use. I have a multi-tool. I have my trusty Stanley flathead screwdriver and just a generic pair of pliers. These will come in handy when adjusting your derailleur. Now I already have it clamped at the appropriate height, but if you were doing this to start off, because actually for this video I have loosened up the cable to show you this, because I've actually already been riding this bike with this. But to start off with, you have to route your chain through by means of, if you have a factory bike, it will likely have it riveted on, so you'll have to punch out a couple rivets. And then what I like to do is, since this has already been upgraded, I already have my SRAM PowerLink here, which is a quick disconnect, and right here you can see it. Hopefully it comes through good on the video. You can see it to where you just simply squeeze this chain together and that link can come apart and slide out. But make sure you get your chain through here and keep your clamp loosely mounted here for your front derailleur. And what I do is, I've had this Stanley screwdriver for over a decade now, and the simplest way for me to get my height adjustment, specs always listed at 2 to 3 millimeters, but I just take the tip of this screwdriver, place it over the tooth here, and as long as it clears at all points without too much of a gap otherwise, I mean it almost touches in a couple of spots, because right here is what's important, right here at these points. You don't want it too far, because then that can lead to some drop chains, but you don't want it too close, because that can also lead to the cage rubbing on a possibly slightly bent sprocket here, which my sprocket's in good shape, but as you can see, if I push it out, it is clear at all areas. Now to move on to actually adjusting it, have your cable already routed through with anchor bolt loose. Pull it out, and we're going to go to the middle ring, but first I'll take the time to show you. Here at the back, I have my chain sitting on what is here on my 9-speed cassette on the 5th. Now you want to set it to the middle so that you don't deal with a whole lot of cross chaining, which is the chain going from, say, the biggest cog in the rear to the biggest cog in the front, or small to small. That adds in friction and can really degrade your shifting, and when you're trying to adjust your shifting or set up a derailleur, you really don't want to have to be combating that. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and I will turn my hand and pull this out my hand to the middle ring. That's a little bit of an effort there, because I am doing it by hand and I don't want to get my hands in there and caught. Now readjust that on my stand. Now take this time to show you these two screws. A lot of people have the misconception that they're for adjusting. They are not. They are just simply limit screws to prevent the high here, marked with an H, prevents your chain from being pushed by the derailleur past the big ring. The low does the opposite. It prevents your chain from being pulled too far into the frame and derailing it actually off the low ring and into the frame. Those are set to limit it at the maximums or the minimum. What you need to do is realize that your front derailleur is going to be totally adjusted by your barrel shifter here at your front shifter, the barrel adjuster at the shifter, I should say. And you need to set this to the middle of its range. Screw it all the way in and all the way out. Find the middle, get near the middle before you start this. Back down here, what you're going to do, and this will actually be pretty quick. Once it's on the middle sprocket, go ahead, pull your cage out, and again, my handy Stanley screwdriver, I like to place it in, and I will actually anchor that in against generally either the BB, somewhere solid, and in this case I have got it right on the BB where I like it. Here we are. And I hold that in place against my tire. Now it's actually anchoring that right centered over the chain pretty much, and I'll take my Allen wrench on my multi-tool, place it into the anchor bolt, pull this cable snug. Now I'm not going to go crazy on it because I don't want to damage the cable, especially if you're using a coated cable. In this case I'm not, so for me it's okay, but I will be tightening that up. And in this case now I'll remove everything, go ahead, pull this out, and now we'll do some test shifting to see just how close it is. And as you can see, you need to adjust it a bit. There we go. It's pulled it off. Go back up. Good quick shift there. Good shift to the top. Let's make sure it can't go past. I've already set my adjustment screw, my limit screw here. Now I adjust it out a little bit because I want a good strong shift. If you notice that on the stand here it drops off, be sure to go ahead and turn that in a little bit and then retry. Now we're going to go back down. Good positive downshift. Pretty good on the downshift there. And what you would do, just keep trying it, go back and forth, go up and up. And there we go. Now, of course, this is just to get it in the ballpark. Try it out on the trail. Make sure you can go in and out quickly and efficiently. And then once you do, play with your adjustment screws. If you feel any drops happen whatsoever, then be sure to give an extra turn on those to prevent those drops from happening again, because you don't want to damage your frame and you don't want to lose a chain off the outside. But again, this is just my quick little setup guide to adjusting your front derailleur. This is not going to be real in-depth, but this should get you close. And then just play with it out on the trail as you ride to get it to be as close to perfection as you can. And again, I want to give a little shout out to Baxax1, who's been patiently waiting for this video. And if you have any questions, comments, want me to get a little more in depth, leave them in the section below. And this is Mongoose Jake signing off. And again, stay tuned for more how-tos here in the near future.